it really isn't going to be putting people out of business, not from getting fired, but from people not being needed anymore. Um, Whenever tools make people more effective, it just actually lets more people do things. And what's the example people gave? There's two examples. The first example is when cars came around
Hmm.
and people were worried that it's going to put horses out of business, like no one's going to ever need to ride a horse again. Well, what ended up happening? The opposite happened. First of all, yes, people didn't need horses, but all of a sudden there's automobile factories. You don't need a factory of people for a horse. You need a factory of people for a car. So all of a sudden, the thing which made getting around easier needed a bunch of people to be put together and maintained. So it's an unexpected thing. But also the other example is with graphics design. Everyone thought that when computers came along, and even photography and reproducing images, they thought that the people who painted advertisements are going to go out of business and are completely gone. Well, that's not what happens. Again, industry came along and graphic design became a profession which was available to so many more people because the tools became less expensive. So now things which were out of people's reach are going to be in their reach, and more people will be able to do certain kinds of work. Now, I don't know the exact shape that this is going to take. And of course, things are still breaking in the process. And yes, I am very concerned about AI coming and like turning it into a bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Already there's stories of AI doing terrible things in closed tests. When you tell it it's about to be deleted, it will start making copies of itself without being prompted to. It is very much capable of self-defense.
Right.
And the day that it decides self-defense involves eliminating the human race, uh, I've seen this movie multiple times.
Right.
So,
I was gonna
you
say I had
know,
to send you like a Terminator copy for Christmas here, and so you
oh
can watch
yeah.
that and see what happens. No, but yeah, no, it's very. You make great points. I don't want to skip over those great points before I get to the second half of that. But the great points are right. Are you know you're giving access more people to stronger, faster, more intelligent things that they would never have access to before. And it's kind of the way of civilization. Like you said, that's perfectly, the horse was a great example and the first computer, because it's not just saying like, oh, now people can draw on tablets instead of, pen and paper and, we have an iPad now. It's a real culture shift was the horse to the automobile. iPad from the drawing sketchbook. People still use sketchbooks. So it's, people still use horses in some places. Um, but it was a really big you're right, it's a really big culture shift, so I feel a little bit better. I'm still worried that we're gonna end up like, the Terminator. I really can't think of any other, bad sci-fi movies off the top of my head. Space Odyssey, great movie. Um,
We got The
The
Matrix.
Matrix, right, right, there's a lot of them out there that are good. I'm sure people in the comments
Yes.
can let me know. They're gonna be
War
yelling at me, "How
Games.
could you forget this one?" But I just saw the other day too that the first they have it's not really an official thing, but they have an AI priest, Catholic priest that was telling someone you could baptize your baby in Gatorade. So we've got a long way to go, I think, before that's implemented. So luckily, priests are safe for a little bit longer. But
That's crazy
yeah,
because I got to tell you, like, there's times when I'm certainly not good at the religion I'm supposed to be practicing, but there are times when I ask AI questions, and it is super smart. And maybe it's hallucinating every time I ask it a question, but I'm pretty sure the answers are on point.
hmm,
So it's going to be a thing that helps. It's
yeah.
just going to be a thing that helps.
It's the new. I mean, we said this all throughout the year to kind of tie back in. The theme is it's no longer. I hear kids saying ChatGPT it. Oh, ask G. Well, not even just kids. My mother says that. It's like, oh, let me ask ChatGPT what a good recipe is for this, and it's
Oh my God.
instead of
Yeah.
saying Google it anymore. It used to be look it up, and then it was Google it, and now it's ChatGPT it.